Good morning. Let's do a morning analysis together. I haven't even looked at the charts yet, so we're literally starting fresh. That's what I've marked out last night. So I'm going to start from the 4 hour. You can see that price has made a lower high here, and this is the main high that we have. This is bullish above this, which means it's obviously bearish below this. So obviously price is looking pretty bearish right now. The only thing is we're at all-time highs. With the government shutdown, it kind of is supposed to be pushing gold up in theory, and we also haven't had any of the news come out. So if the news turns out bad, then obviously gold should be pushing up. So I mean, the economic data, I still haven't listened to my podcast, my economic podcast. Let me show you guys what podcast I actually listen to, because it helps me out a lot when I need to figure out what's going on in the news, say the FOMC meeting minutes and stuff like that, because I know that did happen the other day. I've just been so busy, and you guys will know why if you've watched my last trading diaries video. But yeah, this is usually the one. This is the best one that I've found. I listened to a few others, but that one's the best one. I mean, right now to get a gauge on what the economy is doing. Only for the US, the Australian economy, because I'm based in Australia, but it talks about the US obviously a lot because it's obviously heavily affected by the US. So anyway, let's get back to the charts. So we're on the 1 hour now. This is okay. So what it looks like is price is making, honestly, it's made two ICCs now, to the downside. So it's gone indication to this level, correction, made a lower high. Would I take this trade? No, because I would have wanted to see price stop. Oh, hello. I would have wanted to see price stop right here and then continue down, but price went all the way up, barely made a lower high. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. But it made that indication to this level, correction still, and then a continuation back to this level and push back below again. So then it's made, how do I close that off? Okay. And then it's made another ICC setup because we've got this new low that was placed in here, and price goes again, indication, and then correction, and then it could be a continuation. Do I think I'm going to take that trade? I'm not sure, because I don't want to sell at all-time highs. I'm not going to lie to you. We've passed that psychological level, and that's where we've seen quite a lot of, pressure. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to sell at all-time highs, because look, if you have a look, we have somewhat of a similar situation here. Price makes a higher high, though, that's the only thing, but only barely, and then the candle actually closes lower. It makes a basically lower, and then just sells off and then continues higher. So I don't know how I feel about taking any sells at all-time highs. We'll see what price does, and if price is literally no, I'm selling, then that's fine. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I want to clear my whole chart, so I don't want to get rid of everything. Oh, I'm gonna remove this psychological level thing because it's really irrelevant. This is the low that price has pushed through. I don't think this really matters anymore. So what we're going to do is price's best level, because it's the most recent swing low on a high time frame, so on the 1 hour, and I think on the 4 hour as well. So that's a pretty strong level right there. And then see price has made a lower high here. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to mark, this is a high. I'm just going to say all-time high, because it feels weird writing a whole word and not a few letters. Okay, and then we've got a lower high here, so that's what I'm going to mark out. This just really helps with being clear on the charts, and if I want to check my phone throughout the day because I'm working today, at least I can know what's going on face value. And then price is bearish below this level, and then mark this. I'm going to move this back. This was my original no trade zone, then I moved it here when I saw price was just being weird here. But now I can see that price has made a lower high and a lower low. I'm going to put this as my no trade zone. And now let's just go into the 15-minute. I don't want to go into the 5 minutes, it's going to be way too much. But we'll look at the 15-minute. Choppy here, choppy kind of here. London session kind of continued that uptrend, and then just fell off. Lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high. This could be internal structure for this big move. That's a pretty big move. A lot of seller volume. Yeah, it's done a small retracement. It's got structure in that retracement, which is good. I wish I was structure in this push down, but it is what it is. Let's have a look at, I'm going to set my alerts, but let's have a look at the weekly analysis, because I want to see like, okay, is there a reason why price is going to sell off and where am I expecting price to react from? So we've got 3 touch points on this trend line here. I see as my dynamic support level. So is price going to sell off and tap back down to this level? Because that would make sense. Because if we're looking, this is obviously the daily time frame. This is a high time frame. So if we're looking at this, we can see price is still overall bullish. It's not broken below here. So I really think if I wanted to take a sell, I'd want to see price break. Let's use this. I want to see price break under here. If not under here, then I'd want to see price break below even this level. This board's got touch points from before, so that's that original trend. But then if we're looking at most recent price action, I'd want to see it fall below here. So I want an alert on here, which I'm pretty sure I already have. Yep, there we go. So, and then we've also got this ICC setup here that I had marked out previously, where price has made an indication and then it can make a correction and then a continuation. So we'll see what price wants to do there, but yeah, that's my weekly analysis. So we're just revisiting that to see why price is selling off and what it's selling off to. What it's selling off to is probably what's most important. So we're going to keep it alert at the all-time highs. I want it exactly at it. There we go. And then I'm going to put an alert at this level. I'm going to give the alert a little bit of room to breathe. And we'll click into the charts around here, and then if price enters this no trade zone, I'm going to put an alert here. And the reason why this is a no trade zone is because this is the zone where buyers and sellers were arguing. They were having a fight. We can see that the buyers were in control here, sellers kicked in, buyers got in control, sellers kicked in, and so on and so on. And yeah, there's no real control. Like, no, we don't know exactly who's in control when looking at the market like this. Let me just have a sip of my matcha. So bus. So yeah, and then even here it's a little bit whack. Like, there's a little bit of consolidation here. It's not as significant as this one. This could still be the no trade zone overall, but I like putting it there better, because once we saw price push below this level, we saw a sense of direction. So once price pushed below this level, the sellers got weaker, buyers kicked in and pushed price up, made an uptrend, and because it's making like higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and so on and so forth, until it got back to this level where sellers were strong again. And then when sellers kicked in here, they were super strong, and then price agreed, and then how am I explaining this? Okay, and it sold off here where sellers kicked in, and then it sold off back down to this level where buyers were sitting at previously. And then it wiped the buyers out, made a lower high, made a higher low. It's still a little bit choppy, but buyers were back in control. Sellers got back into control and pushed price below here. So we know that the buyers were sitting here, they got wiped out. Buyers were sitting here, they got wiped out. And these are quite clean moves too, like big candles. But yeah, so this is the 15-minute that I'm looking at that on and kind of analyzing, okay, what is the story behind price? So yeah, I'm going to quickly whip up my journal and then we'll go through that. I forgot to go through news, so let's go through that. So we've got this. I don't know what this is, so maybe I need to do some more research about that. We got a forecast here, which is pretty good. No forecast here. But yeah, news never came out for the US, so I don't know if this is really going to come out. But we'll see. That's just overall to have a look at. I just want to show you guys this overall week. Obviously, it says 100 win because we've only taken one trade. Oh, my Mac's gonna die. I take one trade this week. This week has been a lot about preserving capital. Look at that. You can just guess what happened there. I opened the wrong thing. Yeah, I opened the wrong thing. I was trying to open gold on my MT4 and I opened this one. Best believe I was so stressed, I just closed it straight away. Yeah, we only got one trade this week, which was on the Tuesday. Yeah, and today's just really been preserving capital. Like, Wednesday was super choppy. Thursday was pretty choppy. Wasn't really any real sense of direction. Like, what could we have done yesterday? Because we low-key could have taken a sell here under this level back down to this level, but look at what it would have looked like. It wouldn't have looked very good. So we would have been selling to this level, and then we would have had to have a stop loss up here if we're going according to our rules, because we have to have our stop loss at the most recent swing high. So that's a negative RR, so wouldn't have been a smart trade. Would have won it in hindsight, but it wouldn't have been a smart trade. But anyway, yeah, it's just been a little bit of a week reserving capital, not taking any trades. Yeah. in a journal. So I press start my day, go to 10, and then you can load it's called a template. I use TradeZella. I have a link in my bio if you guys are interested in it. It's really, really good. I do my back testing, I do my journaling and everything on here. I also do all my pre-market analysis. You can see that. So usually I just put the instrument here because just in case I decide to, add another instrument. So I just usually put the instrument here. High time frame bearish, start of bearish. The all-time high, the previous swing low, and new indication. Consumer sentiment, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Okay. Market conditions. Choppy yesterday. Choppy, what was it? Wednesday. Thursday, unclear. That's how I would explain it. It looks like the start of a new trend. My bias today, my bias is lucky bearish, but overall bullish. Let me just do this and I'll come back. Okay, so market conditions it was choppy on Wednesday, super choppy on Wednesday. Thursday was unclear, and it looks like the start of a new trend. My bias today bearish but overall bullish. Obviously, the most recent price action is showing me that price wants to go down. Sellers are getting stronger, so yeah, it's my bias is bearish because that's what price is showing me, but the overall trend is bullish, and there's still that dynamic support level. Hold on, dynamic support, and then setups. I'm waiting for the correction for the bearish ICC. Invalidation is if market conditions turn out to not be good. So I say market just starts chopping around, price goes choppy. That's when I'll probably sit out. There's no clear direction, and then max risk is 1%. Trade market, and I got to remind myself, market always presents opportunities. I'm thinking of potentially increasing my risk to 2% once I can get 3 consecutive green months, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, so that's my morning analysis today. Hopefully something happens today. If not, then it's cool. We took one trade today. I've always got to keep the reason why I'm so patient in the market is I've always got to keep in the mindset that, even though I've only got one trade this week, if I had a higher size, so if I had, instead of a $2,000 account, a $20,000 account, that would be at 240. If I had, $200,000 account instead of a $2,000 account, that would be 2,400 in 1 week. So I've always got to just in my mind, I just 10x the amount that I have in my P&L, and I go, okay, as long as I can keep this up and keep being disciplined, all I need to do is size up. And my main focus is consistency and my win rate. As much as people say that that's not something you should be focusing on, that's my focus because I would rather be only taking A+ setups if I know that I'm going to be right most of the time. So that's how I just stay disciplined, and I don't feel like I need to chase the market even though I've only made one trade this week. And market conditions aren't good. I've seen on TikTok and just in general, a lot of people are getting wiped out by these market conditions and disheartened and stuff. It's because they're trying to trade and they're still beginners, and they're obviously getting caught up in these market conditions which are not good at all. So I just want to make sure that, I understand that market conditions aren't good. So taking a small frequency of trades it's good. But yeah, that was a little bit of insight into my psychology. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great trading day. Thank you for watching this trade recap, and let me know what you guys see in the market. I literally have 5 minutes to go to work. I'm literally in my pajamas, not even finished my matcha. Hopefully today's not another stressful day, but I will see you guys later today when I do my trading diaries video, my trade recap. If you didn't see yesterday's trade recap and trading diaries, I suggest you go watch those. And yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you later today.